Come back to Regional Science Center after a gap of nearly 9 months. And we started the course last October, and it is nearly 1 year, 1 month. We are stretching the course and we are trying to finish it in all its ways today. Today is the final day as far as the course are concerned, but all of you are with us for the total course, as well as after this also all of you will be with us. You should not leave us. I will explain it in details. So just saying a brief history about this course, how it started, when it started, and which is your batch which is actually completing the program, the course today. We started the first course in 2013, and we had a initial registration of nearly some 8 or 9 persons, 9 persons I think, and mostly out of 9 persons there were 5 working teachers from various schools and colleges. Schools, mostly higher secondary schools, and 1 or 2 colleges. Ultimately from that 9, 5 completed the program and they went away. So that was 2013. Then after that, due to miscellaneous reasons, 2014 and 2015 we didn't conduct the course. On 2016, Malabar Christian College came up with a proposal that we will conduct a course jointly with Regional Science Center, a course on astronomy and astrophysics. Then we said that, see, we have certain pattern and we would like to stick to that pattern. And they initially agreed that, okay, we will do whatever way you want it, and we will accommodate our students. It was mainly focusing to the students of Malabar Christian College. That is what was one restriction. Other colleges were not allowed for that particular course. But anyway, we went into an understanding and then we did the course there. And initially some 30 or 35 people joined the course, but ultimately as the course progressed, there were bunds, there were clashes, there were college was closed for some time, and course went on, and it was not a very good affair. Saris from Malabar Christian College, so I should not speak very bad about it, but anyway, the course ended very haphazardly, and it ended somehow, and we had to conclude the course. So that was the thing. So though they wanted to actually renew the course, but well, we were reluctant after that because it was not going the way we wanted it to go. So that was one thing. Then again in 2017, the course renewed. We started the course, and one of our 2017 batchmate is sitting in the back. Can you just stand up? He was one of the batchmates, and he had completed the course with his other students, other friends, and we had some 12 or 13 persons who completed the course. 2018 also we had lot of registrations, and ultimately I think nearly 35 registrations were there 2018, and ultimately I think 10 completed the course as a whole. And 2019 also we had 35 registrations. One registration was from Trivandrum, one registration was from Wayanad, and remaining were local registrations. And ultimately we found that 11 people, 11 participants completed all the requirements of the course. So what this, it shows that actually people think about astronomy and astrophysics is a good subject. It's something fascinating to know about sky, and they join this course. But when they come when the popular level thing, the what you say, the halo type of thing about knowing about stars, constellations and all, it is over, and then it goes a bit deeper into physics and then astrophysics and then mathematics. It is no more a very funny type of, means very popular type of thing. Then people slowly lose their interest. That's what we feel. They don't, they think that this is somewhat like academic thing what we were studying in our college, we are studying in our college, or we were studying in our college, and the fun is no more there. So in that way actually people lose interest maybe, and ultimately we end up with less people. But that should not be, because this course we do conduct, planetarium does many popular level course. In those we never involve any of these deeper scientific facts or mathematical aspects or formalization for the course. And it goes in a very superficial level just to know the phenomena as such. And lot of people take from school, colleges and general public. We do courses varying in duration from 1 week to, sometimes we have done in 2009, we have done in, as International Year of Astronomy, 1 year every Sunday course for public. There also were dropouts, but there were no exam, just people came, they saw some lectures and went away, and whoever gave an attendance of 50%, we gave them a certificate for that. So that was a popular level course. You need not do anything, you are a passive, you just passively come and sit and listen to the course, and then you go away. Whether you retain anything or you forget everything, we are not worried, neither you are worried. So in that way the course went. But then we thought that we should do some course where actually we will be going a bit deeper into the subject. We would like people, especially the people who can take up higher studies in their future, or who can do some type of serious studies in astronomy and astrophysics apart from popular level. So they will study the physics and the astrophysics aspects of it. They will go into the mathematical details to a fair level. We don't go into very deep level, just a fair level. So a college, a +2 student with +2 maths and science background can easily follow whatever we teach here. So in that way this course was formalized, and this is going on, and I hope that we will keep this course going on as long as people, as long as participants support us and we get participants for this course. So 2019-20 was a good year in the sense that we have a lot of people and the course was going on, but in March of 2020 we were nearly in the verge of completing the course when there was a lockdown and everything went astray. We could not complete the course, and then we had to complete the course on the online mode. We nearly took a month of sessions and we conducted various aspects of the course online, and ultimately we concluded the course. So that was the brief history of the course. So this apart, let us see the glimpses of this course. We have developed these glimpses or moments of this course where all the participants were present in many occasions, and we had made a short video out of it. You can just have a view of the video. So that was a brief outline of how we had different moments. Though the lectures are not involved, that was, I think, not required for this. So now we come to the function proper today. I would like to invite the chief guest of the day, Dr. Devadasan, who was a professor of Malabar Christian College and also Dean of KM City College of Engineering, Dean in Science. So sir, please. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Manas Bakshi, who is the project coordinator and curator of the center, and he is very much a part and parcel of this course. And I would also like to invite Mr. Binoj, who is also an education officer here and who helps for running this course in many ways. So,
well, I'm not thoughtful enough to give the thought of the day. I can just share what I feel like. I remember two interesting things. Number one is, do you know who discovered the World Wide Web? The man who did it? What's his name? And what was he? Who was the person? He was a physicist. He was a CERN physicist. His name was Tim Berners-Lee. And currently he heads the organization W3C, or World Wide Web Consortium. He had written a book about himself, and in that he mentioned something that is very interesting. He said the whole idea of this World Wide Web and this hopping and learning and moving between topics and getting into the further hyperlinked details, it came to me from my attitude of surfing books in my grandfather's attic at our house. I got a book there on which in the first page it was told how to wash your clothes and get rid of the stains. On the second page it was about the chemistry of some acid. On the third page it was about manufacturing of something, so it's an assortment. And he said that being very much pressurized, straight-jacketed into the normal form of learning and a defined syllabus, we always follow these routes all the time. So sometimes I felt very much rejuvenated. I enjoyed this non-formal, non-structured learning of something, where just while reading something I can jump to something else and read about a little bit of detail into it. So that's how the idea of web came into him, and when he got the chance of working onto certain data sharing arrangement in CERN, he developed this thing. I think at our place, what we try is exactly that. Even beyond our scope of studies, even beyond our regular defined straight-jacketed syllabus, there's a lot which is interdisciplinary, because the current world is quite complex. And there are many things which lie side by side, but the mix is at a fuzzy boundary. And while learning one subject, we can understand that many other subjects are necessary. I can tell you about the research experiences. You join a research where you are supposed to say work on something which is an electronic system that will understand, that will be say electronic nose, where you want to have the smell and analyze something and understand whether the tea is toasted at the proper level, whether some set of fruits have already gone rotten or not. And while doing such research, you understand that you need to understand the chemistry of volatiles. Otherwise, you cannot develop the sensors necessary that will actually detect the amount of volatiles there. And once you do that, you understand that if you can sufficiently understand well the chemistry of volatiles and the electronic mechanism to decide them with an array and with the implementation of neural networks, you can probably also make a device with which you can sniff out explosives. So immediately one research turns into another, and that goes into another way. And after a certain level, there are mix and match boundaries for every possible form of knowledge. Make no mistake. We have a very misplaced notion at the beginning of our life. Somebody says that I just want to study this, or I just want to study this. To a large extent, this is a little improper in a sense that we take these decisions without knowing what the subject is. And in most of the cases, without knowing it in detail enough, And that creates a problem afterwards. Yes, the passion is very, very important and passion needs to be followed. But it is also very important to keep yourself a little open to understand many other things. And if have an open mind in such a way that if something comes on my way which is not exactly in this subject, I will try to learn it and I will learn it. I know computer science engineers whose research areas are strictly computer science, but they had to learn linguistics because they were trying to develop a natural language system. So similarly, this is one side of the story, that openness, fuzziness, a little being open to absorb many other things is important. But it is also important, and that I'd like to mention from another very famous statement of one very big and huge physicist. His name is Eugene Wigner. Now Wigner is a Nobel laureate. Now once Wigner was explaining something in one general press conference, and there he talked about certain things, and one press journalist, he raised his hand and asked, "Sir, I didn't understand." And Wigner was a man of few words. He never spoke much. He used to make very brief statements. So he said, "I'm sorry, if you don't understand mathematics, you have to settle for a lesser truth." And it is exactly the word he said, it's lesser truth. Since we are into this business of science, at one point of time we have to make up our mind, we have to be sure that it needs to be mathematical, it gets to be mathematical. And even in biology, psychology, or whatever you do, to a large extent, even in philosophy, you cannot avoid doing mathematics. And mathematics should be seen not as a very difficult, critical set of problems, but it is rather a language. It is just a language in which many problems can be briefly represented. So while many of us are interested to know about the universe, but the moment it comes to calculations, the moment it comes to actually doing things and finding out the details, we get a little choked off. Unless we do that, the bed of roses doesn't take you to any destination at all. And hence, it should be necessary to get a little involved with the calculations, get a little involved with the actual experimental details. Hopefully he has imposed another homework on me that I am supposed to speak to you after this with some technical things, and there also I try to show you what I mean by actually getting into this form. So let me not drag it anymore. I wish you all the best, and it is an extremely happy moment for me to see that so many of you have done well, and you have come out through this. I hope this will increase your interest into the subject, and you will find out much more than what meets the eye. Once you develop the habit of getting into the detail, once you become a nerd at your heart, and I use this word quote unquote from another person named Shep Doelman, who he is and why he is important, I'll come to that later on. And he once told this thing, and he was asked that you have done so many things, so please tell us the result. And that was asked by another very big physicist, Brian Greene. And Doelman very clearly with a little smile said, "I can't tell you. The results will be compiled only next year, April, and before that, I still do not know what it is." So this inert distancing of a person who is doing it in his own hand, but yet he is postponing the desire to declare the result. This postponement is the mark of a scientist who is immediately not ready to sensationalize, immediately not ready to qualitatively say something. When you say something, you mean it, you are ready to prove it, you have your actual data with your hand. And that's very important. I'll tell you later on how data is important and how data is collected and why experimental techniques are very, very much important. But that's later on. As of now, all the best to all of you. My best wishes.
It is indeed a matter of great pleasure to come for this convocation of the fifth edition of the Astronomy and Astrophysics program run by Regent Science Center and Planetarium, Calicut. In fact, I have been associating with the Regent Science Center and Planetarium, I think since 1995 or so, because I was working in Malabar Christian College, which is very near to this place, and my house is also very near to this place, very near to Malabar Christian College and Planetarium. So I used to be a constant visitor here, and I have been participating in various programs organized by Regent Science Center and Planetarium. And in fact, after my retirement from Malabar Christian College, and having worked in two other institutions for about 6.5 years, I got an opportunity to actually work in this institution for about 2 years and 4 months to be exact. 2 years and 4 months as the chief mentor of the Innovation Hub of Regent Science Center and Planetarium. So in that sense, I am not a guest here, I am a part of Regent Science Center and Planetarium, I think. May I say so? Okay. So I find that in this fourth batch, out of the 35 people registered, 10 have successfully completed the program, 11 have successfully completed the program and are ready to receive the certificates and the mark list today. It is indeed a big thing. It is indeed something very big in the sense, in Kerala, particularly in Kerala, when some student joins for a course in a college, suppose it is BSc Chemistry, all the 3 years the student is concerned with the BSc Chemistry program, and no time is actually spent on studying other subjects. That has been the tradition followed in Kerala. It is not like what happens in European countries or in America or in other countries. There the student, when he joins for a particular program in a college, by the time he completes the program, he will have 1 or 2 or 3 or even more than that additional certificate courses or diploma courses, and at least 3 or 4 internships in various institutions by the time he completes the graduate program. So what I mean to say is that the students get much more exposure to the various programs other than chemistry, if it's a BSc Chemistry person. Apart from chemistry, he gets information. He is given opportunity to acquire more knowledge and information in related areas, including humanities, by the time he completes the program. So that sort of flexibility is there. But in our program, in our colleges, there is one serious drawback. I have been mentioning it in the Board of Studies in Calicut University when I was chairman of the Board of Studies in Chemistry for a couple of occasions. I used to tell them that why don't you give opportunity to our students to have more exposure in areas and subjects related to the subject that he may be studying, directly or indirectly, other subjects which may be of interest to him, so that by the time he becomes a graduate, he will have lot of information and competence in not only his own subject, but also in other subjects. I think it is high time that our educators, I mean the university people and the government, the Department of Education, think in this direction and give our students opportunities to excel in the subject that they study, of course, and at the same time to get familiar with other related subjects and other programs, so that they will have more exposure to science, not only science, more exposure to engineering, more exposure to social subjects, and will become a good citizen with good knowledge and information by the time he becomes, say, 20 years old. So it is in this context that program of this type becomes very important. I must say that this program launched by Regent Science and Planetarium, it has been a boon to you students, because by doing that program, I think your mindset regarding physics, your own subject, maybe physics or mathematics or whatever it is, I think it has become broadened. It has expanded, that you are able to accommodate informations in other disciplines, astronomy or astrophysics or space science or whatever it is. So I must congratulate you people, you students, who took a bold step in studying this program. Apart from a routine BSc or BTech program, you came forward to study this program, to do an extra program, astronomy and astrophysics, and get a certificate, not just for getting a certificate, because I do know that this particular subject, astronomy and astrophysics, has one unique importance, that it actually gives a broader outlook into what this universe is. And actually, when I was attending to various programs, when I was here for 2 years and 4 months, relating to astronomy and astrophysics and space science, I think my vision, it has been broadened. Only when we look at space, we understand that we are just a drop of water in a very vast ocean. If you consider the entire universe as a vast ocean, what is the position of Earth? Of course, Earth is a unique planet, we know, but it's just a drop of water in a vast ocean. So that's the picture given by this wonderful subject, which I must say that it has been a subject which is perhaps the most ancient subject. Originally, physicists were not just physicists, they were astronomers too. Whatever things which we study in physics, at that time they were not actually called physicists, but they were astronomers. So astronomy is a very wonderful subject. And only by studying astronomy, at least if you have some passion for understanding astronomy and astrophysics, I think your mindset will be broadened. You will have the right perspective of what this universe is, how wonderful it is, and what is our position here. We are just a grain of sand in a vast landscape. Of course, Earth is unique. It has life. That's okay. But we people who are endowed with this gift of being live can live on this earth for about 80 years or 90 years or 100 years at the maximum. I think what we get is a very, very little time to just look into the space. And what you can understand about space is only very little when compared with what is stored in this entire universe. And that is why I used to tell my students that the science will continue. There is no end for science. Science will end only when life on this earth ends. Because as you go deeper and deeper into the science of the universe, you find more complexities. You find even newer and newer things to be explored. Remember that the last 2 years, this year and the year last year, the Nobel Prize in Physics were given to physicists, particularly relating to astrophysics. It was last year for finding a new exoplanet, and for this year, for establishing that Sagittarius A star, the black hole, is a reality. There is a lot of physics, very interesting physics, about the formation, the development, the sustenance, and perhaps the collapse of black hole, which was theoretically predicted by Albert Einstein 100 years back. So it is a wonderful science, and we could read at least the A of that science, the first letter of that science. It's a big thing that you have achieved. That's what I want to mention, and I must congratulate the Region Science Center Planetarium for launching this sort of a program. And I have a humble request that from this year onwards, if you launch this program as at least as a combined program of online and offline, I think many students, and not only students, but also people who are employed and people who are really interested in this sort of a science will join for the program from all parts of the state and even from other parts of India, so that you will be in the long run able to go with this program as a wonderful program, educating the young minds as well as the old minds about the wonderful phenomena in the whole universe. I don't want to say more. This is the time of COVID and there are restrictions. Initially I was a bit hesitant to come for this program, but he said there will be at the maximum 20, and I counted, interestingly, the total number of people in this hall is only 20. I think you kept your word. That's wonderful. Including all the assisting people, it is only 20. So this sort of a gathering is ideal gathering in the time of COVID. And COVID is yet another challenge for scientists and people working on medical science and all that. It's a challenge. Actually, science and technology always will face challenges. And overcome the challenges in the best way possible is what science can do. So only science can, in my humble opinion, only science can actually overcome this challenge of this COVID-19, and I think in a couple of months, or in a few months at least, we will come out of this pandemic of COVID, and we will be able to move with enthusiasm in exactly the same way, or even in a better way as we were doing before COVID. So once again, congratulating all the students, the young people who have, are going to receive their certificates for completing this course. And also requesting you people to again go for attaining more and more knowledge about this by associating with the Region Science and Planetarium in the future. Wishing you all the best, and thanking all the organizers for giving me an opportunity to come over here and interact to you with for a few minutes. Thank you once again. All the best.
Thank you, sir. So now we will first give the certificates, and then we will be distributing the prizes, and then we will have a short break of 10 minutes where you can refresh with having some tea or some snacks we have arranged for you. And then we will have a lecture on black hole physics as such, because it's a phenomena which is getting more and more advanced Last year the image was taken, and how the image was taken, and this year Penrose got a Nobel Prize, what he did. So it's a fascinating thing, and Mr. Manas Bakshi sir will be speaking on that. So you will have a wonderful time understanding the physics regarding that. So as far as the course is concerned, as a general thing I would like to say, for the general common knowledge of all of you, that this course was divided into 3 modules, module 1, module 2, module 3. We had module 1 classical astronomy, module 2 about stars, stellar astronomy and solar system, and module 3 about galaxy cosmology, etc. So each module had a theory test and an assignment, and for the theory test they were given an 80 marks and they scored, there was a written test, and last module was an online test, and then for assignment they were asked to actually give a seminar on a topic. So all these students, most of them participated, and then we had a data analysis, because data analysis is one of the important part. So we taught the students about data analysis, and there was a test on data analysis, and then there was observation is an important aspect, how to train a telescope, how to observe the sky, how to bring an object in the focus. So I think people have gained some experience on that. So we had a test on observation. So with conducting all these tests, actually we took this course of every test, all the theory test, all the data analysis, all the observation test, one observation test, one data analysis. And then based on these performances, we are declaring, we have already declared one person, we will be declaring again. First chosen or the first, not chosen, the person became first in every sense. So there was first, second, third positions from this particular group. Then we will be giving best theory among the theory tests performed, combining all the theory tests and making an average. The best theory test marks will be awarded a prize. Best, the highest who has received in the data analysis, or if 1 or 2, we will be awarding them. And similarly, the observation test, who has scored the highest marks. And then because promptly attending all the classes and listening to the lecture is quite important. That we feel that instead of being irregular and patching up with certain things, if somebody comes and goes on, take the strain of coming and not missing a single class. So we kept a prize for the attendance. Only if a person have input of 100% attendance, we give a prize for that. So there is a prize for that. So with all these prizes we will be announcing just now. So first we will be giving the certificates and the mark list. So one after one, I think the names we will be calling, and I think we can distribute the certificate from here. And those who are absent, if possible, if somebody can collect the certificate and give it to them, that will be very good of it, because otherwise then we have to keep the certificates, and it will be difficult for either the student to come with a prior appointment, because we should be present to give the certificate and the prizes if there is anything. Sir, you can, both of you can. Yeah. I think so just check. Okay, so one by one I will be calling the names. Please come and take your certificate and mark list. It is as per the roll number, so this is not as per any ranking or anything. So Anjana Ganesh P. So all of us, let us clap and Anagha TC. I think, yeah, you can come and collect it. So, who is coming? Anagha, anybody else? You collect it. She is not there, so Anagha can collect it. Niranjan P. He has not come, so you can collect it on his behalf. Anina A. Clap, everybody, clap, at least give some. Ritin SB. Hadia Nawal CK. Arya Sudhakaran. Clap, clap, clap. Vivek P. Ajay Krishna KK. Somebody collect it. Actually, Ajay Krishna is not there, so he is collecting on his behalf. Akshay P. Akash P. Okay, sure. Sorry. Akash P. Shreya Sanjeev. I think, or you can give him the camera, and you just, because he knows this, right? So now I will go to the award ceremony of today's session. So based on all the performances, theory, practical, observation, everything put together, Arya Sudhakaran is the first candidate. So let us give us a good applause. Arya Sudhakaran is studying in Providence Women's College. So the second prize goes to Vivek P. Vivek is from Government Arts and Science. The third prize goes to Anjana Ganesh. Anjana is studying MSc now in Bharatiya University, first year. Best Theory Award is given to Hadia Nawal. So Hadia Nawal has performed best. Best Observation Test goes to Akash P. Best Data Analysis goes to two persons because they scored the same marks, Anjana Ganesh and Vivek P. Anjana Ganesh. Vivek. Best assignment goes to Anjana Ganesh. She was very involved in all the classes. You wait here. Best attendance also goes to Anjana Ganesh. 100% attendance. So we have special prizes for persons who have shown passion and enthusiasm in astronomy throughout the course. So it's a group prize, Astronomy Enthusiast Award, that's what we called it. Anina A and Shreya Sanjeev have been awarded Astronomy Enthusiast Award. So please come. Another award, special award we have announced for telescope related aspects. Best way of telescope, working with telescopes and doing all the aspects about it. So it is awarded to 4 persons. They all did very well. Ajay Krishna is there. Ajay Krishna KK, Anaga TC, Niranjan R and Ritin SB. I think Ritin, you can give it. Ritin is there, and I think others we have. Ajay Krishna is there, and Anagha TC and Niranjan R. These 2 persons have not come, so please convey it to them. Please give it to them. So yeah, please take your.
ഓക്കെ, എല്ലാവരും ഭയങ്കര ഹാപ്പിയാണല്ലേ? കുറേ സമ്മാനങ്ങളൊക്കെ കിട്ടി. വന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരുപാട് സമ്മാനങ്ങൾ കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രോഗ്രാം ഇവിടെ എൻഡ് ചെയ്യാണ് ഇന്ന്. അപ്പോൾ ആദ്യം എല്ലാവരെയും കൺഗ്രാജുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ്. കാരണം ഏകദേശം 35 കുട്ടികളോളം രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ നിങ്ങൾ 11 പേരാണ് അത് സക്സസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തത്. അത് ഈസി ആയിരിക്കില്ല എന്ന് ഉറപ്പാണ്. കാരണം നമ്മളത് 6 മന്ത് കോഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തതാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ അത് 1 ഇയറിൽ കൂടുതലായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളെ ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഓൺലൈനായിട്ട് പോകേണ്ടി വന്നു, ഓൺലൈൻ സെമിനാറുകൾ നടത്തേണ്ടി വന്നു. അതെല്ലാം നിങ്ങൾ സക്സസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് എല്ലാ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ ചാലഞ്ചസ് എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഇപ്പം ഈ ഒരു സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് കയ്യിൽ കിട്ടുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്കൊരു സന്തോഷം തോന്നുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? ഒരുപാട് സമ്മാനങ്ങളും കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളിവിടെ എൻഡ് ചെയ്യരുത്. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങളെ പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയമായിട്ടുള്ള റിലേഷൻ ഇവിടെ സ്റ്റോപ്പ് ചെയ്യരുത്. ദേവാ സാറും ജയൻ സാറും ഒക്കെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് ശേഷം പുറത്തു പോയാലും നമ്മളുമായിട്ടുള്ള റിലേഷൻ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുക. ആസ്ട്രോണമി ക്ലബ് ഉണ്ട്, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിൽ മെമ്പർഷിപ്പ് എടുക്കാം. പിന്നെ ഇപ്പം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങൾ അറിയുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് നമ്മളെ ക്ലബ്ബിൽ ഇപ്പം സീനിയർ മെമ്പേഴ്സ് കുറവാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളെപ്പോലത്തുള്ള കുട്ടികൾ വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയത്തിൻ്റെ ആസ്ട്രോണമി ക്ലബിനകത്തൊരു വലിയ സഹായമാവും. അപ്പോൾ അത് നിങ്ങൾ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ അധികം കുട്ടികളും ഫിസിക്സിലാണ് ഡിഗ്രി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ PG ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പം ഈ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം ഒരുപക്ഷെ ആസ്ട്രോണമിയുടെ ഒരു ബേസിക് പ്രോഗ്രാമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ആസ്ട്രോണമി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സബ്ജക്റ്റ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം, ദേവദാസ് സാർ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഒരു വാസ്റ്റ് ഓഷ്യനാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു വലിയ കടലിലേക്ക് ഒരു ചെറിയ തോണിയായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ കണക്കാക്കുക ഈ ചെയ്ത കോഴ്സ്. അപ്പോൾ ആ കടലിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങണോ ഇറങ്ങണ്ടോ എന്നുള്ളത് നിങ്ങളാണ് തീരുമാനിക്കേണ്ടത്. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഓഷ്യനിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഉറപ്പാണ് കൊടുങ്കാറ്റും കാറും എല്ലാം ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ അത് തുഴയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരു ചെറിയ തോണിയാണ് ഇപ്പം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജയൻ സാർ തന്ന ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യുക. ഫിസിക്സ് ഡിഗ്രി ചെയ്തവരായതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു പക്ഷേ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് PGക്ക് ആസ്ട്രോണമി ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ താല്പര്യമുള്ള അത് ചെയ്യുക. അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആസ്ട്രോണമിയിൽ PhDയും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പോൾ അത് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു സൈഡ്. അപ്പോൾ എന്തായാലും നിങ്ങൾ ഡിഗ്രി പ്രോഗ്രാം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അത് നിങ്ങൾ ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യുക. പിന്നെ മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം കൂടെ, നിങ്ങൾ ഈ പഠിച്ച കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒരു ബേസിക് കോഴ്സിൻ്റെ അപ്പുറത്തേക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ പഠിച്ച കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒരുപക്ഷെ അവിടെ നിന്ന് മറക്കാതെ ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ ജസ്റ്റ് ഇപ്പോൾ രാത്രി ആകാശത്തിലേക്ക് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ 1-2 കാര്യങ്ങൾ, ഇപ്പോൾ ആകാശത്തിലേക്ക് നോക്കിയാൽ മൂണിനെ കാണാം, മാസിനെ കാണാം, പിന്നെ 2 സാധനങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ഏതൊക്കെയാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ കാണുന്നത്? ഈ സമയങ്ങൾ കാണുന്നത് ജൂപ്പിറ്ററും സാറ്റർനും കാണാം. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഈ അടുത്ത ദിവസം ഒരു റിലേറ്റീവ്സിൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ പോയപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ജസ്റ്റ് മുകളിൽ കയറിയ സമയത്ത് ഈ സാധനങ്ങളെല്ലാം ആകാശത്തിലുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ കുറച്ച് കുട്ടികളുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ജസ്റ്റ് അവരെ വിളിച്ചു. ഇതെല്ലാം കണ്ടപ്പോൾ അവർക്ക് ഭയങ്കര കൗതുകമായി. ലക്കിലി ഒരു സാറ്റലൈറ്റും പാസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അവർ ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞ് ലൈഫിൽ ഇതുവരെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇത് കാഴ്ച കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല, വലിയൊരാളാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. അപ്പോൾ അതുപോലെ നിങ്ങൾ പുറത്തു പോകുമ്പോൾ ഇപ്പം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിനെല്ലാം അറിയാം. നിങ്ങളെ നൈബേഴ്സ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, നിങ്ങളെ സിബ്ലിങ്സ്, അവർക്കൊക്കെ ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കുക, സയൻസ് പോപ്പുലറൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചുമതല കൂടെ നിങ്ങൾക്കുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും പറഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ നിർത്തുകയാണ്. പിന്നെ ഇനി ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഇന്നത്തെ പ്രോഗ്രാമിലെ ചടങ്ങിൽ കിടക്കുകയാണ്, എൻ്റെ കർത്തവ്യത്തിൽ കിടക്കുകയാണ്. ആദ്യമായി നമ്മുടെ ഈ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച്, ഇപ്പോൾ കോവിഡിന് ഒരുപാട് പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ടെങ്കിലും നമ്മുടെ പ്രത്യേക ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ വന്ന് ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാം നല്ല രീതിയിൽ ചീഫ് ഗസ്റ്റായി നിന്ന് ദേവദാസ് സാർക്ക് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ വ്യക്തിപരമായ പേരിലും പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയത്തിൻ്റെ പേരിലും നന്ദി പറയുകയാണ്. താങ്ക് യു സാർ.